Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing fine. Cannot believe that it's Friday, November 11th this morning. I got out of bed and saw the temperature, and it said there was a 36-degree drop from yesterday. So, wherever you are in the world, I'm thinking you're warmer than here, but who knows? Anyway, welcome to another episode of Living Joyly. I couldn't be more thrilled to have you join me on this live broadcast. As you know, I've been thinking about how to implement the chair of joy in my own life more often. And again, recently I did a speech called Fame and Profit, and the speech was called Plug In and Power Up Using the Chair of Joy. And so the 6 areas that I'm working on, my little file is right over there as far as what the 6 or 8 areas of confidence building are. And they're nutrition, exercise, variety, working on goals, environment, healthy routine, and if I can see the other one, relationship building. So those are the 8 areas or 7 areas I go back and forth between which ones actually make the cut. But this has been an exciting journey. I've been seeing myself really tap into using the chair of joy in a healthier way for me so that I get to my goals. And once I started this, probably about 3 weeks ago, the results that I've been achieving are incredible. And I'm not saying just because I'm doing the chair of joy as a profession, but I'm doing chair of joy as a lifestyle. And I do it every day, probably 4 or 5 or 6, sometimes 10 times a day for 60 seconds or more. It just depends. And the power of visualization starts to create what it is that you want to manifest in your life. So let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to just go through the Chair of Joy experience right now. I don't even know which topic I want to talk about today, but I wanted to come on quick and make sure that we're tapping into this energy on a daily basis, because the Chair of Joy has just taken on a life of its own. And I think that this live piece with you and being proactive and paying attention to what matters is really, really helping. So, I wanted to just see if I could share my screen with you and have some fun today. So, let's see if I can do that with you real quick. I'm going to share my screen. If I can share my screen very quickly. Stop share screen, present, share screen. All right. And here we go. Sorry, it's taking just a minute. Here we go. There we go. All right. Hopefully you can see that. I am excited to share the Chair of Joy experience with you because of the framework that's taken us 30 years to come up with, and using various educational plans that many people have put out in front of me or that I've purchased. So including Dr. Wayne Dyer, who I used to listen to all the time, Tony Robbins, Brene Brown, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, if I didn't say that already. Yeah, just a ton of people. So James Wilder and Melanie Wellner have also shared their neuroscience backgrounds and education, and it's really helped me formulate this sit, breathe, think, feel. So the chair I just showed you is the idea for you to have your chair of joy. So go ahead and find one if you haven't already. So it can be any chair like the blue one I just showed you. Hopefully you saw it. Or it can be a chair in your mind's eye at the beach or at the mountaintop or whatever that looks like. Or you can just physically stand up and go sit in a chair of joy. So again, it could be the stool, the log in the backyard, the bench, the porch, the stairs, anywhere where you can just take a few seconds And literally, if there's tons of chaos going around you, on around you, and there's kids in the background and crazy stress at work, nobody even has to know that you're doing this. So if your headphones are on right now and there's a lot of chaos around you, it's perfectly fine. We can still go ahead and do the Chair of Joy experience and feel better in 60 seconds. So let's go ahead and do that. So where's your Chair of Joy? Go ahead and find it. And imagine where it is. And if yours looks like this blue one, it's perfect. And sometimes you can even paint the Chair of Joy words on the actual chair. So as you're sitting there, I want you to pay attention to what's in your mind's eye. So what do you see when you're actually sitting around in your chair? So the sights, the sounds, the smells, really pay attention to what your Chair of Joy is offering for you. And the next step is to take some deep breaths. So deep breath in. Today, I'm bringing the word, I'm going to bring the word a little guilt. I'm going to bring the word guilt and maybe even a little shame to the Chair of Joy today. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. But what is the emotion or feeling or awareness that you're bringing to your Chair of Joy? So as we're breathing, I want you to think about that. So deep breath in. Again. And if it's you want to pull your hair out because the kids are running around and being nutso, that's okay. And the same respect if you're at work and there's a lot going on and you just want to walk out the front door, totally get that. So let all those things just fall to the ground. The thing for me about guilt and maybe even a little shame is I've been so good on this juicing cleanse and focusing on eating fruits and vegetables. And yesterday, I found a almond chocolate salted bar, dark chocolate bar, which isn't all that terrible all by itself. But I put some peanut butter on about 6 or 7 pieces, and I ate them with such delight. So that's my piece that I'm bringing to the table today. What about you? What are you bringing? So another deep breath in. And for all of us that are listening, if we could just drop all that by the wayside and including my shame and guilt around chocolate or whatever you have going on, if it's frustration or anger or pissed off or giving up, or I just want to start fresh today. I want to do over, like whatever that is. Maybe there's just a big meeting coming up that's exciting and you're a little excited or anxious or have a little anxiety about it. So all those things are good reasons to sit in your Chair of Joy. So one more deep breath. And then we're going to move on to the think portion. And the think portion of this is so fun. This is my favorite part. So I'm going to think about a moment of joy around this chocolate thing that I have. And I want you to think about a moment of joy around your thing, your self-awareness and the peace that you're bringing to that conversation today. So for me, I'm thinking about a moment of joy when I was young and we used to buy these Betty Crocker cakes for like $1. And my mom used to bake them like once a week or something like that. And we used to cut them up into small pieces or, fairly large pieces, 3 by 3 or something. And they would fit in a blue and white Tupperware container. And I used to pack my dad's lunch when he went to the paper mill and put one of those containers in his lunchbox. And that always made me so happy. So what's your moment of joy? I loved chocolate when I was a little girl. The best part of my memory, and if you could do this with your memory too, is expand it just a little bit further. What else do you see? What else is possible? Put yourself into the movie. And I remember my dad coming home from work with his lunch pail, and it was a black one, right, with a little hoodie, a little clip on it. And I would wait for him at the door, and I would run outside and grab his lunchbox out from his hand and run it in the house because I was thinking by some chance he didn't eat all of his cake. And so this particular day that I'm thinking of, he didn't eat any of his cake. And I always looked at him and smiled. And sometimes I think he did it on purpose and he purposely didn't eat his cake so that I would find it. So that's a pretty cool memory around chocolate. And let's just feel those moments in our bodies from our head to our toe. Think, is it something to do with your dad or your mom or a sister or brother? And I'm going to move the screen forward, but the better you get at this feeling part from your memory of joy, you can feel the vibration in your heart. There's so many incredible memories that we have stored away in our right brain that we can have access to them any single time. No one has to wonder, do you have enough? Or, is this real or does this work? It's already done. We already feel it and we already feel better. At least I do. One of the things that I thought of just now as I was talking to you was part of the reason that I think that I got to 177 pounds was based on those Betty Crocker cakes. I often would tap into every treat and cookie and candy that ever came into my house, like a pure addiction. I remember Mom dumped in the 1 cup of sugar, full sugar, like I feel the sugar pouring into the Kool-Aid pitcher, and how we used to consume that probably how many glasses a day, right? The dozen, so much sugar. And that chocolate, as I went through my life, became the staple. It was just the thing that I had to have. And now that I've been juicing, I really get a handle on, I don't want to eat all that stuff anymore. My body is my temple. I got this one life, this one body to live while I'm on this planet. And so the shame and the guilt that I was experiencing when I started this call, I've just let it go because I replaced it with a feeling around chocolate that was fun and exciting and meant more than just weight and bones and pain, right? It meant conversation and relationship and consideration and love, and of course, joy. So anyway, I let that go. Today I went to the Aldi store and bought some cantaloupe and kale, and I cut that all up and I'm starting to consume it, and I already feel better, and the cravings for that chocolate have now dissipated. And the best thing is, every day is a new day. I get to wake up tomorrow with a fresh start. Although today is just getting started well, I get to make beautiful choices and practice my healthy routine and continue feeling better. So all that aside, I hope you're feeling the magic we started yesterday that we talked about and continuing to carry that on through the day. You are incredible. And I just want to share my screen one more time because I feel like this is super cool. There's a summit coming up, and it's called the Global Joy Summit. And you can register on this page. It's called globaljoysummit.org. And our dear friends, the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu wrote a book a while back called Joy, which I have on my have had it on my shelf for a long, long time. International bestseller, and it's pretty phenomenal that they've brought so many amazing people together to do a 3-day speaking event, and that's starting on November 14th, 15th, and 16th. So if you haven't registered, go there and register and join for as much as you can. You don't have to do it all, but some of it is really good, and it really helps us all when we raise our standard of joy. It creates less fight and less angst and less hate and less diversity or less division in the world. And I'm going to spin my globe just because it's on today. I have a really big meeting coming up, and I'm going to share it with everyone then too, but less of just black and white world and red and blue, and more of a yellow and white conversation. So that's my story. and I'm sticking to it. And I hope you're having a blast today. Continue sitting in your chair of joy often today. Sit, breathe, think and feel. Your kindergartner can do it. Your high school student, child can do it. Your friends and you can do it as coworkers. The idea is to just do it. Oh my gosh, I got to tell a quick story really fast. So yesterday we were starting a meeting, and I always bring the Chair of Joy experience to every call. And it just so happens yesterday, one person came in, there were 4 or 5 of us. One person came in very tired. One felt overwhelmed and didn't have too much done for the particular meeting that we were doing. One was in the midst of a move. One was feeling maybe perhaps I'm not sure actually what that person was feeling, but I can tell he wasn't really connected. But anyway, we did the Chair of Joy experience, and when I got done, they all said, "Oh, we just want to stay here on the last portion, right? This feeling the joy." And but we all came back and we laughed and we had fun and we had an extremely productive meeting, probably one of the most productive meetings I've ever had with our team. So that was really powerful. Anyway, love, love, love. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and take your Chair of Joy with you on the drive home, or if you're out and about, or take a minute after dinner and go ahead and get yourself in a raised standard of joy. It impacts you and everyone who you come in contact with. Talk soon.